Are you planning to study abroad? You're at the right place. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing absolutely fine. Today I have with me my best friend Muskaan. She has worked in the media industry for 4 years now and is currently pursuing her masters in Glasgow in media management. Hello Muskaan,
Hi,
welcome to my
so nice
channel.
to see you. So nice to be here today.
Okay, so I have to start by asking you, after working so many years in the media industry, how did you decide you wanted to do masters and specifically wanting to go to Scotland?
So I was happy with what I was doing. I was a journalist in multiple news channels, and I was quite happy with what I was doing, but I wasn't really feeling satisfied with it. I just wanted to do something more in the marketing field, but also not leave what I was doing. So I thought I wouldn't leave the media industry. I would want to enter the marketing field. So how do I do it? So that's when I thought I'm going to do, okay, media management. It's a very unique kind of a course. Not a lot of people know about it. And I also didn't know about it for the longest time. It's only when I started researching about it, that's how I came to know. And Scotland wasn't on my list, to be very honest. It's just something that happened. I had seen University of Glasgow on somebody's Instagram pictures, and I had always thought about it that oh, if I ever go out, I'm going to go to University of Glasgow. And thankfully, they did have the course that I wanted to do. So I just applied for like 3 colleges, and I got into the University of Glasgow, and here I am today.
That's I think that's the coolest story ever, by the way. Okay, coming to my next question. How did you apply to universities in Scotland? Is there a procedure to go by, or are there any agents that you go to, or how is it like?
So you can do it on your own, but since I was working and I didn't have a lot of time at the time when I applied for it, I went through this agency called Advice, EDWISE, Advice. It's in South Hicks in Delhi, and they were very helpful from like the initial process to like just collection of the documents till the visa application to paying of everything for the health insurance and everything to traveling here, everything they helped me with. So I think if you can, you should do it on your own, but I always suggest people that you should go via the agency, and most of them don't even take anything from you, like it's free. So why not? You can always take help from them.
Right, absolutely. Why not? I mean, if you're getting help like this, why not?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to ask, since it's the COVID period and God knows when this will end, did you have this fear during the process that all this will get slower down, or you might not be able to go to the university, or all those things? Did you have any kind of fears or setbacks?
I did. And I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people who have been through the same thing. I started applying for colleges in March 2020. This is much before the COVID crisis started happening in India, like it got worse.
Mhm.
I started applying in March 2020. Not a lot of people knew about it because I wanted to keep it a secret.
Mhm.
But with everything just going for a toss after COVID, I had to delay my plans for almost a year. And that was really a difficult phase for me as well and for everybody around me because I was living in uncertainty. I didn't know whether I should continue with my job or I should leave it and go back home. I had gone back home to my family and I didn't know what to do. I was just in this uncertain period where everything was weird for me. And I think COVID did really delay my process, but I did not let that create a lot of hindrance in the process of me doing my masters, which is I think a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, the whole point is you're there and you finally arrived.
Yeah. I appreciate it even more now, to be very honest. I've had so much
Absolutely,
problems.
absolutely. Okay, since universities haven't opened, and this is a question I'm sure you would have got from a lot of people, that why have you just gone there? Why couldn't you do it online from your home, or maybe you could have stayed in another city within your country and saved a lot of money, or saved a lot of time. So, what do you have to say about that, and how is it like? I know personally, I think it's more about the experience, but I want you to tell the people, how, what is the difference?
I was thinking about it when these people, like the university, told us we don't know when universities are going to open up. I had this thought in my head, I can save a lot of money by being at home, but what do I do with that saved money? I can probably buy an iPhone for myself. Good for everyone, good for me. But I'm not learning anything. I'm not going beyond that screen of my iPhone if I save up that money. It's all about the experience for me personally. And I'm no expert. I'm just like talking about my personal experiences here. And I'm also not judging anybody who has done that in the past or is going to do it in the future. For me, more than university classrooms, it was the experience of the city. It was the experience of how people are in a different country and how people are in a different city. I wanted to experience a different culture. I wanted to go beyond my comfort zone. I wanted to push my boundaries and see what I can do. And one of the reasons why I shifted here to Glasgow was because we are getting post-study work visas from this year. So we had to be here in the country till a certain date. Of course, the date has been extended now, but when I moved here, that date was somewhere around April or June. So we had to be here in the country before that. And I personally really feel that I still feel bad because the rents are pretty high here. So I do feel bad about paying that rent. And I know I could have saved up a lot of it, but I've made new friends. I've met new people. I've experienced different things. I've seen how different countries work, what is different back home and how is it different? Why is it different? Why should I experience this particular thing? It just makes you a better person.
Right, right, absolutely. So, abroad, part-time jobs are very common, and taking up all this is a very common thing. But for people here, back here, people think, oh, what is this part-time job you've taken up? Your parents are paying for the course, or you've already paid for everything. Why do you need this? So tell us, why is it important to have a part-time job, and how has it helped you as in being there?
So anybody who's here, not just in Glasgow, anywhere in the world, I think you should always take up a part-time job. Why? A, it gives you financial independence. B, if your course is not very difficult, where you think you can manage it, it's just like a break from your regular cycle. For me, a part-time job was very, very difficult because when I came here, everything was shut. We were in the middle of a lockdown. There were no restaurants that were open. There were no stores that were open. Only certain stores, like your important grocery stores, were open, and they were not hiring. And we come from a country where the currency is very low as compared to what the UK is. So even if you're spending about £1, £2, it's really expensive for you. So that part-time job is just an extra pocket money. Even if your parents are sending you money, it's okay to just do a part-time job because it just gives you that financial independence of buying whatever you want or saving up whatever you like or how much ever you like. So that's what I did. I've picked up a job in one of the Indian restaurants here, which is a different experience for me. I have never done that in my life. I don't know anything about hospitality in general, but I meet so many new people every day. They listen to my story. I listen to their story. And it just makes me either feel that I'm so lucky to be here today, or I just learned something new from them. So it's all about the experience and, of course, a little extra pocket money on the side for paying the rent.
A little extra pocket money never hurts.
I know.
Of course. So, tell me, how has it been adjusting back there? I mean, as compared to what we are here, so it would be a little different. But tell us what has been different and what has been very similar, and how has this process of adjusting? And I believe you've been there for almost 6 months now.
Yeah, 6 months. Yeah, it's a long time, and time's just flying. To be honest, I didn't really realize that I've been here for 6 months. Initially, when I came here, and I tell this to everybody that I speak to, it was very disappointing and very depressing because I had to quarantine for 10 days, and it had snowed, and UK weather can be gloomy sometimes, mostly. So that just adds to your mood. It was very, very depressing. I felt sick. I had no idea about where to go, how to buy medicines. I didn't know where to take a prescription from. maybe you just give a call to your GP, like your physicians and everything. I didn't know that. So one day I wanted a medicine. I walked for about 10 minutes from my house, and the pharmacy was about 2 minutes from my house, but I did not know that pharmacy. So I just like walked somewhere to some other pharmacy. So from that to making friends, and now just going out with them and going on trips and going on hikes and just generally exploring the city, I've come a long way. And it's only because I've stayed here longer. And anybody and everybody who's planning to come here, don't think that it's going to be cakewalk. It won't be. Initially, no. Just 1 month it's going to take for you to adjust to the surroundings. The food was different. I didn't get my regular dal chawal, which I don't like cooking, so that was very difficult for me. At home, my mama used to just make something for me, or we had maids and all, somebody like cooking for us. Here, you don't do that. The culture here is very different. You just do everything on your own. And when you're doing everything on your own, sometimes you're lazy. So you'll probably just order a burger. So you're eating a lot of junk food. And obviously, then your clothes don't fit after a while. So yeah, that's happened with me. I'm just saying. So there are a lot of things. The only good thing that one of the good things that I like about Scotland is the weather here is amazing in terms of, if you like the cold, like I do, I'm a winter baby. I love winters. For me, this place is heaven. Summers here are about 22 degrees, 24 degrees, not more than that. And even then, you feel so hot. So for me, this place is really nice weather-wise. It's a beautiful country. You have so many dark stories, but beautiful, beautiful places. You can just go to the Highlands here, Scottish Highlands. You can just drive up or take a train and just go for a hike, and you'll just enjoy and have the best of times. Obviously, there's a lot of diversity here. You have a lot of Indian families, you have a lot of Pakistani families, you have people coming from European countries, you obviously have Asians here. You have everyone. So you learn about so many different cultures. The food here, to be honest, for my taste, it's not very good. But I think most people would agree with me when I say that. But yeah, that being said, I've come a long way. I've come a long way from not knowing where the medical store was to now knowing how things work here. It's a lot different. People can just give their credit card or debit card details over the phone here without even asking who you are, because they're paying for something. And in India, you can't do that. So there's a lot of trust factors that people have here. And India, of course, there's a lot of frauds. Not saying that you don't have frauds here, but just it's more honest people here that way, and very friendly, very chatty, like me, very chatty, very friendly people. It's always nice to be here with people. Yeah.
So, coming to my last and final question before I let you go. So, can you give us and our listeners a word of advice, and for anyone who's planning to go abroad to study or even settle down as a whole?
Yeah. So the only advice, again, I'm saying I'm no expert. Everything I say today here is purely based on experience and everything that I have gone through in the past, and just coming from another friend, as you can say. When I came here, I came with a mindset that everything is going to be like rosy and very nice and beautiful, and oh my God, everything is going to be perfect. It's not. Initially, it's not. You really have to struggle to get into things, even if you're just looking for a part-time job, or even if you're just making friends, or even if you're just going out in general. Secondly, don't invest in the wrong kind of people just because you're lonely. Invest in the right kind of people, because that just adds to your loneliness even more if you invest in wrong kind of people. Thirdly, just make a thorough search. Like, before you come to any country, just look it up, the university, what the university has to offer, what course you want to do, why you want to do that course, what are the opportunities. There's no concept of, like in India, we have, once you're graduating, you'll have companies coming to your university and then hiring you or something like that. There's not a lot of concept like that here. So don't come with that mindset that meri placement ho rahegi. Don't think like that. When you come here, you will get enough opportunities to get into other companies where you want to go. So just look out for them, and always look out for people who are ready to help you, because there are a lot of people who would want to help you here. And just go for it. Don't think about how it's going to be. COVID is happening. I shifted in the middle of a lockdown. I just went for it. My flight was cancelled thrice. I just went for it after that. And I appreciate it even more. And I'm glad that I'm here because everything that I'm learning here, maybe I wouldn't have learned back home. So just go for it whenever you get a chance.
That's amazing, and thank you so much. And after listening to all your stories and your experiences, I am sure there is so much learning from there itself. But thank you for this conversation, and thank you for tuning in. And let's see what's coming next.